Okay, so in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to find cleanup equipment that you need to add and how to add it to a specific transaction. So I've already logged into Scout and SRS, so go ahead and do that. First off, you need to find out what store number you're going to be sending to. Once you have that information, you're going to go to SRS, you're going to go to Reports, Cleanup Recap. You're going to go to Recap by Warehouse because it's an easier version to look at. Also Print. You're going to filter by the store number that you're looking for. So we're going to use example 1479. Now this is under the assumption that you've already kept up with your received equipment column, as I have. So we automatically know that these two columns of equipment can be sent because we have received the equipment. Now you need to keep up on that. Anytime you receive, like let's say we received the Wave 2 digestive cleanup, I inventoried it and then came into SRS in the cleanup recap and made sure we had all the equipment and then marked it as yes. Nice and simple. If you keep up on that, it makes it a whole lot easier to monitor your cleanup and send cleanup also because you already know what you have in your warehouse. You don't have to go search and see if you have it or if you've already sent it somewhere else. It's just a whole lot easier if you stay organized with that. So now that we know what we're going to send here, it's pretty simple. All you do is go over to task notes, look at what equipment you have. So the digestive cleanup here is calling for two 3-foot 12-inch white Madix shelves. So you'll go into Scout, you'll go to Search Transactions. Now the easiest way I've found to search is to leave off the beginning of the doc number. So instead of typing the 5861 or the task code, you just type in store number underscore. Now this may change with the Wave 6 and beyond doc numbers. You'll open up the store or transaction. You go down to the bottom. Now this is where you're going to add the equipment. So we had two Madix 3-foot 12-inch white shelves. So we're going to put two there. Now this was digestive cleanup. So it's as simple as typing in that right there. Now you need to make sure to do that because when you go back and look at transactions, if you claim that you've already sent it or if you wonder if you've sent it, that right there is your tracking basically. That reminds you, you can quickly look at it and you don't have to go and search for certain things. Go ahead and save that. Next up is the foils and gravy cleanup, which we also received. So that one is 2 fencing and 17 pushers here. So you go back to the transaction. Now right here, this is a classic example of one of the limitations of Scout. It only allows 10 results here in this autofill dropdown. So I'm typing foils, which is the section name here that we've used to input this equipment. We have more than 10 options, but the problem is it only allows you to view 10. So we'll have to find another way to find the part. So you can search fence, which is also part of the name. One of the things is just getting to know all the part names also. That's it right there. So we had, let's go back and check. We had 2 fencing and 17 pushers. So we have 2. This is added that cleanup or that piece. Next up is the pushers. Now that also is not available in this drop down because it only allows 10 options and we're looking for the 20-inch, which would be below these here. So we'll try, there it is right there. Over time you kind of learn the ways to search. At the end of the day, if you can't find the part right here in this drop down, basically what you got to go do is open another window in Scout and actually search for the part and then copy and paste it into there and it'll automatically pop the little drop down and you click that and it'll have the part there. So that's a little tip there. Go ahead and save that. Oop, actually, I didn't add the foils and gravy. Copy that. Go ahead and save that. Alright, so we added the digestive cleanup, we added the fences for the foils and gravy, and then we also added the pushers for the foils and gravy. What you do after that is basically you come back here into the cleanup recap. Now right here it says reordered and received. That actually is an out-of-date note which I should have updated. What you'll want to do is you need to update these notes after you've sent it. So basically what we'll do is you basically click on that. It opens the cleanup window for the actual cleanup. You'll click right here where it says cleanup logistics note, and you'll basically replace that with sent wave 5/6/9/2014 period. Now I'm going to highlight that and copy that using Control V and Control C, because we're going to use it here again in a second. It's a lot quicker if you just copy that so you can paste it. Click add, and there you see it updated. So we'll close that, and if you refresh this window you'll see that the note updated. Right there, now it says sent wave, so that when you go back and look, or your DM goes back and looks, or anybody else goes and looks, they can see that you've sent this. The team lead also should see that and know that it should be installed, or they should communicate with you if for some reason they have not received the equipment. Now you also go into this one. Now we copied it so that we can, using Control C and Control V, just paste that in there also instead of having to type it every time. We'll close that back out. We'll refresh it so you can see again. And as you see, these have updated. That way they know you received it and they know you sent it. Nice and easy. If you keep these organized, it'll save you a lot of time. I use these all the time to go back and check to make sure that I've sent equipment and wondering why it's still in SRS. After that I communicate to the lead and ask them, the reason that it hasn't been installed or what happened. I think I made a mistake here. Yep, actually, I added the wrong part. So that was a Burke part. So let's see if we can find the FFR pusher here for foils. Looks like we're going to have to do what I talked about just a second ago. So here we're going to open another window in Scout. You're going to go to search parts. You're going to search here, right here in the part name. Now that should be enough information to find it. Yep, so there it is right there. All you want to do is copy that using Control C and Control V. You go back to the other window right there. Now all you got to do is paste that in there, and as you see it brings this little drop down right here. You just click on that and it fills there, and you'll add the 17 that we were supposed to have, and also the foils and gravy note. Save that, and there we go. That was my fault. So we got that fixed, and once you're finished with all this, after you've added the cleanup to the transaction, after you've updated the cleanup logistics notes here, then you'll print this out. You'll right click, click print. It'll bring up a dialog box. Obviously you select your printer. I typically actually go in here and go to advanced and change it to black and white so that you don't waste a bunch of ink. Now usually in Internet Explorer that will save for one day, 24 hours, or until you restart your computer. So just go ahead and play around with that, and then you click print. After you have that printed out, you highlight these here that you have sent, and that way the leads know, once you attach that to the pack list that they will be receiving on their pallet, they see that those are highlighted. They know that should be the equipment that they received, because that's what we do every night, and it seems to be working out pretty good. And I think at the end of the day, that is the basics of adding cleanup equipment to a shipping transaction. Thank you.